1-0 going into week 2, about to be 2-0 against another playoff rematch, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is going to be a fun game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are always a gritty football team. They're tough, and they're going to be hard to knock out of the park. And that's why this 6.5 spread for the Detroit Lions, I think, is kind of big. But if the Detroit Lions show up and play their gritty brand of football, they should have no problem covering that spread. That's honestly how I feel. And I understand the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are coming in off a big win against the Washington Commanders. They looked really solid, but it's the Washington Commanders, and it was Baker Mayfield's best game of his NFL career. But we all know with Baker Mayfield, there's a yin to his yang. Whenever he has a really good performance, that following week isn't so good or doesn't really live up to that performance. Let's see if Baker Mayfield can turn that into some consistency this year and see if he bounces back. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense is not something we should take lightly. They got Baker Mayfield slinging that thing like the best he's done in his career, like last week. And then you got Rachaad White out of the backfield. I'm not really concerned about their rushing attack, but I am concerned about Rachaad White getting open out of the backfield. He's like Jahmyr. I'm not saying I'm going to compare him with Jahmyr Gibbs, but out of the backfield, they're slippery and they can run routes. So we got to limit Rachaad White out of the backfield, limit those check downs, make sure we're Jack Campbell and Alex Anzalone and Derek Barnes are wrapping up and getting to Rachaad White out of the backfield. And now we got to deal with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. We all know those guys, they're getting older, but they're still one of the top wide receivers in the league. This will be a good test for Terrion Arnold, and this will be the revenge game for Carlton Davis, who got traded from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the Detroit Lions, and he went against Chris Godwin. He went against Mike Evans every day in practice. So maybe he can give some pointers to Terrion Arnold. Look at this for Terrion Arnold, man. The first game you're going against Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. The second game you're going against Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. Hey, rookie, welcome to the NFL. But I thought he played really well last week, and I'm going to be interested to see the matchups. Carlton Davis versus former team, and Terrion Arnold, how he holds his own against two all-pro types of wide receivers. But their offense can be explosive, but if we show up on defense, I think we'll be all right. And I think the pass rush should be able to make Baker Mayfield uncomfortable, just like they were getting pressures on Matthew Stafford last week. And for all those people saying, where are the sacks at? Matthew Stafford was getting rid of the ball in 2 seconds last week. I don't think Baker Mayfield's going to be doing that, and I don't think Baker Mayfield's got some of the arm angles that Matthew Stafford has. So I'm expecting a little bit more stat productions from the defensive line this week. Now let's talk about their defense. Their defense is going to be down Antoine Winfield, which is huge for Jamison Williams and Sam Laporta going across the middle. Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's also huge that Bryce Hall, one of their starting cornerbacks, went down last week. They got Jamal Dean out there. Let's have Amon-Ra St. Brown. Let's hope he has a bounce-back game this week. JMO was a little limited in practice, but I'm expecting another big game from Jamison Williams. Let's pound the rock. They weren't very solid against the run last week, so let's keep running the ball with Jahmyr Gibbs, and let's keep running the ball with David Montgomery and keep pounding that line. Keep pounding the rock. Keep pounding the rock. Don't get away from it. And that's what kind of upset me last week, and that's why that game was a little bit closer than it should have been. The Detroit Lions in the middle of that football game got away from running the ball. If we don't get away from running that ball, that game's completely different, but we won, and that's all that matters. And the more I get away from that football game, the more that I'm looking back at it, that drive in overtime sets the tone for the season. That pumps me up. Every time I'm looking at that, like, yeah, we could have lost, but we completely took that other team's will and just drove it down their throats. And what I mean that what that does for the season is, like, you feel like you can dominate anybody moving through the season. That's like a tone setter for on our way to the Super Bowl. Like, that's our identity. We're gonna kick you in the teeth, and we're gonna get back up, and we're gonna keep pounding you until you don't want to play anymore. That's what is so awesome about Dan Campbell's message, and that's what's so awesome about him being our head coach, man. We embrace that identity, and you can tell for how hard our training camps are, we are more conditioned than the other teams, which is huge because look at in overtime, no one wanted to play. That's the first game of the season. Everyone's exhausted, but the Detroit Lions found that second gear, and they just took the Rams' will in that overtime. And that just goes to show how good of a football team and how good of a program and how good of an organization this Detroit Lions team is ran. We're here, and we're here to stay, and it's finally encouraging. And it's like every game I'm expecting the Detroit Lions to win. And late in that football game, when we were down 3 in 4 minutes, we got stopped. I knew if we got that stop, I knew Jared Goff was going to run down the field and get us some points to be in position to win that football game. I'm so confident in this football team. Those expectations that we have, I'm so confident that we will exceed those expectations. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let me know what you guys think about this game, whether the score is going to be. I think it's going to be like a 30-20, 30-24 game for the Detroit Lions. I really believe that the Detroit Lions are going to probably run away with this football game sooner rather than later on Sunday. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Please keep helping this channel grow, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.